Epic Games has outdone themselves once again. I feel like they're the only company that can take their game offline for a whole day. I think it was actually close to 40 hours and actually have such a hype to return rather than fans being mad. Either way, we have Chapter 2. It dropped this morning. As I'm recording this, it is currently 8:30 in the morning, and this did drop actually just a couple hours ago. You guys are watching my gameplay for my first ever game on Season 2, Chapter 1. So make sure you guys watch the entire gameplay. It is a great one. I'm not going to spoil the ending, but if you guys do want to know the ending before the video is over, go ahead, check my Twitter. Hint, hint. Anyway, moving on. With literally no information heading into Chapter 2, we didn't really know what to expect. I knew I had my high expectations and my high hopes and whatnot, and so far, I gotta say, I'm very happy with how the game is playing. Again, I do not know the entire map. I have not played with every single weapon. I'm literally giving my impression based off my first game. Although, with research that I have done this entire morning, we're going to hop right into the patch notes. So yes, this is my first game, as I mentioned, but let's hop into the patch notes. So while we have a brand new battle pass, a bunch of new weapons, some new emotes, etc., etc., the biggest change is the brand new map. Now that will be obviously the highlight of the entire season and the entire chapter and whatnot. So, right off the bat, the brand new map brings in 13 new POIs, but a lot of them are classic ones such as Pleasant Park and Salty Springs, but also at the same time they're bringing in new ones like Power Plant, and they have one called like Slurpy Swamps. You guys will see the gameplay right here. We are landing in Power Plant, and we actually end over in Lazy Lake. So with that being said, we'll be doing a whole new video just based on the map and actually some different POIs and whatnot later on today, maybe tomorrow, so keep an eye out for that. So the map, I know, is going to take a long time to explore. It's going to take a long time to memorize where chests are and where different loot drops are, and which actually leads to my next point in terms of fishing. So yes, in Fortnite, you can now actually fish. I know, throwback to Pokemon, right? When you used to be able to go ahead and fish for Magikarp and whatnot. But either way, there is now fishing, and it is now a major part of the game, because if you start fishing, you can actually start fishing for loot, literally weapons, some bandages. From what I've seen, I have not actually been able to find bandages or heals from fishing, but that could just be my luck. I've never been a good fisherman in my life, but either way, you can get weapons, you can get other loot and whatnot through fishing. The fishing rods can be found along the water in the map, so make sure you guys keep an eye out for that. I'll probably be releasing a video on the whole fishing aspect a little bit later today. But with that being said, let's move on to everyone's favorite water activity: not fishing, not swimming, boats. So mobility has always been an issue in the previous seasons. I know we've had the volcanic gushes of air next to power plant. We've also had slipstreams. We've had ATKs, boards, airplanes, etc., including ballers and whatnot. But it's always been an issue. When planes were in, people complained. When the ballers were in, arena people complained. I didn't mind the airplanes too much. The ballers I could not stand, but the airplanes I didn't mind too much. But again, I know that's unpopular opinion, but either way, transportation and mobility has always been an issue. Even when we had the slipstream, that was still only on certain parts of the map. If you landed over by Happy Hamlet or Frosty Flights, good luck getting to the slipstreams, as the nearest one would be over there west of Fatal Fields. But either way, after that season ended, after we lost Mega Ball and Mega Tilted and whatnot, we lost slipstreams altogether. And one of the biggest complaints last season was the mobility and the lack of mobility. So with that being said, it is so great to see that Fortnite is adding a way to actually go ahead and add more mobility throughout the entire map instead of just having it sectionalized up to, you know, certain parts of the map to have water, or to have, you know, one giant lake in the middle, kind of like Loot Lake, and then go from there. Instead, there's water running through this entire map. So the best way to ride water is through a boat, obviously, which are actually now in the game. So now boats can hold up to 4 players. They have a rocket launcher on each one, and it does actually have a zoom/boost feature as well to help you get from point A to point B as fast as possible. You can actually use boats on land. Obviously, that's not recommended. That's not what boats are built for. But either way, keep that in mind. I cannot wait to hop in with squads later on today with my usual squad, hop into a boat, see what we can do there. I can also see some cool LTMs coming out of this, almost like a battleship kind of LTM. I think in creative, we're going to see a lot of cool game modes come from that as well, like literally like a battleship, like the board game. And considering you can't dive bomb with a boat like you could with the airplanes, I'm sure boats are going to be more well received with the Fortnite community moving forward. Although what I did find interesting in this game that I played this morning was the fact that I never hopped into a boat, admittedly, but at the same time I did go swimming a whole bunch. I had to go from one side of the map, or I had to catch the circle, whatever it may be. The swimming aspect is very neat. Obviously, in Chapter 1 with Loot Lake and other water features in the area, it would actually slow you down. But that is farthest from the truth here in Chapter 2. If you swim in part of the lakes, rivers, oceans, whatever it may be, you guys actually speed up. It's actually a swimming emote. Now, I don't think you can shoot actually while you swim, but you can hop out of the water with an epic burst, an epic jump out of the water, and start firing immediately. So that's very cool in my opinion. I think that that is going to be a feature that will be used a whole bunch. Again, going back to the whole mobility issue, this solves that right then and there. Another aspect that I actually saw that I thought was actually very interesting was the fact that you can now actually hide in barrels, in dumpsters, in sand pits, and whatever it may be. So there are various different objects throughout the map that you can actually hide in and then pop out and attack your enemy and whatnot. I'm very curious to see how that plays out. I don't think that that is the fairest option, if I'm being completely honest. I can just imagine a couple people just raging from walking by a dumpster. Someone pops out with an RPG, with a sniper, grenade launcher, whatever it may be, and just annihilates an entire team. I don't know. That element of surprise is just too risky for me to be all gun-ho about a feature that was just introduced today. So again, I'll keep an eye out about that, but make sure you guys do check your dumpsters, check your barrels and whatnot. I do want to mention too, you actually get an achievement, in-game achievement, not an Xbox achievement, but an actual in-game achievement. If you hop into a dumpster, it says I'm trash or something. Don't quote me on that, please. Speaking of squads, they actually implemented 2 brand new changes to the game, 2 new features, I should say, in terms of helping your downed teammates. So the first one being the ability to carry your teammate. So if your teammate is down but not out and actually currently bleeding out, you can go over, press Y, triangle, whatever it may be on PC, whatever your button bind is, and you will actually start carrying your teammate. So obviously if there's cover maybe a good while away and you're getting shot at, maybe your teammate can support with some cover fire while you pick up your down teammate, carry him to cover, revive him there, give him some shields, get back into battle. Or there's this brand new launcher that was just introduced as well. Now, we don't have any stats as of right now. I'm trying to get that too. Again, like I mentioned, everything that I do find out later after this video will be updated on my Twitter account at ZevHadar, link in the description below. But either way, it is a launcher that heals your teammate. So you shoot, it looks like a bandage almost. We saw this actually in the pre-game trailer as well. But basically, you shoot bandages at your teammate, and it actually helps and heals your teammate. So there you go. That is pretty cool. Now, when you first hop into Chapter 2, Season 1, immediately you will be taking from this cutscene, leading from the black hole that we saw actually for the last 2 or 3 days, and actually lead in straight into your first game. So you're going to drop as a default skin into the map. The entire map is still locked and undiscovered, if you will, so all of it is blacked out as question marks, but as you explore different areas, you're going to start to unlock different parts of the map. Now, that leads me into the next point. There are now bots in multiplayer, in Battle Royale. Now, this was actually announced a couple weeks ago during the end of Season 10, and a lot of people were iffy about it to see how it actually plays out and whatnot, but I'm actually pretty convinced this gameplay might have a couple bots. I mean, this game was almost too easy. Again, not spoiling the ending, but I actually found this game to be too easy. I'm not expecting the rest of the season to go this way, the rest of the chapter to go this way, but either way, this is what we have now. The bots are in. I do not know if the bots will help out if you guys, let's say, jump in squads with fill on and you guys can't find a 4th teammate. Maybe they will fill with a bot. I'm not sure. I think that bots are just going to be random teams not affiliated with actual human users. So what I mean by that is if you hop into squads and let's say there are 98 total people, Fortnite might add 2 bots in to make it a full 100. That's what I'm assuming. They won't probably actually fill your squad or maybe your duo, whatever it may be, with bots itself, but obviously, if it's 98 people and they want to fill in 2 more, making it even 100, they might do that. But the bots, from what I can tell, again, I'm assuming that a lot of the enemies I face in this game that you guys are watching right here are bots. A lot of them were very iffy. They didn't behave like normal players. They would start healing in the wide open, and not just minis. They would take big shields. They would take med kits. You know, they wouldn't take, you know, the quick 2-3 second heals, but the actual 10-second ones in the wide open, right on a hill, no builds, no cover, no trees, nothing. That right there signifies to me, at least, the bots are not really where they should be. Now, again, that could change later on. Obviously, with the implementation of skill-based matchmaking, there might be some kind of tiered system with the bots, or some way for the game to recognize, hey, look, I am ZevHadar right here, has won this many games, does this well, average placement, you know, X, Y, and Z, however they calculate that. Let's put them with, you know, tier 3 bots, tier 4 bots, or medium level bots versus beginner bots or hard bots. I don't know how it's worked out like that, but either way, that's what I'm assuming the kind of thought process is, if you will. So with that being said, we should be on the lookout for these bots. I want to see how these bots start adapting to the play style of Fortnite in terms of the actual human users, if you will. I do want to touch upon the brand new UI, which is called user interface. Obviously, this is very, very different from Chapter 1. You know, the entirety of Chapter 1, you know, obviously you have your health bar right in the bottom middle. Now it's over to the bottom left, right below the kill feed. You have your inventory with your ammo count to the right. There's a whole bunch of brand new stuff. But my favorite thing they added so far, and I know you guys are going to knock me for this, the XP bar on the bottom. It says level 1 with that purple bar with the different segments, different sections of XP. I love that. That is fantastic. I was saying that on Twitter earlier today when I first noticed that. That is fantastic. The last game that I really noticed that in was actually Modern Warfare 2. I know, a long time ago. I'm sure there's other games out there that also have it as well, but that's the one that really sticks in my mind of having the XP bar. I don't know why. It's just very satisfying to me to see that little bar fill up on anything that you do, kills, wins, whatever it may be, as you get these in-game achievements as well, which I'll touch upon later on today in a different video. That XP bar is going to fill. Obviously, if you complete challenges and battle pass challenges and whatnot, obviously that XP bar is going to fill. So that is very cool. I love it. I wish you can customize it so it's not purple, but not going to complain too much there. Moving on to the next topic I want to talk about are the weapons. Obviously, with brand new seasons in the past, we have seen new weapons come to the game, and so far we have seen actually a brand new sniper, it looks like. I don't know if it is actually a reskinned 50 cal, because we do actually have the bolt action sniper already in the game. We also see some fan favorite weapons come back, but also at lower tiers. So currently the only ARs you can pick up are the standard assault rifle, which we have seen every single season prior. But we have also seen the FAMAS, the 3-round burst, come back as a common and uncommon rarity, as well as I've seen the blue version as well, but not as common, obviously. But the RPG also, as you guys can see in the gameplay later on in this video, actually comes in an uncommon rarity. So hopefully we won't see too many RPGs spawn, but so far from the signs of it, we're going to see a lot of RPGs spawn. Moving on, some other really short notes I do want to mention. The fact that you can actually harvest materials from player-built structures. So the fact that if I build a 1x1, or if I start cranking 90s, and someone comes along and starts harvesting my wall that I built, they actually gain the material back from that. So this is an idea that I actually been pondering for the longest time, for actually a couple seasons now. I wondered if that would be almost too overpowered, or how that would affect the overall gameplay, because I have thought about this in the past, and now I'm really glad to see how this is implemented into the game. I want to see how this plays out, if people like it, if they don't. Moving on to some very quick notes here. You can actually gain some shield from ammo boxes. You can trade in materials to upgrade your weapons. So if you have common weapon and you go to one of the trade-in beacons, you can trade in a bunch of materials, make it uncommon, etc, etc. And we might make a video about that later on today as well. But you can ready up while in game after getting eliminated, which I think is pretty sick. You can also fish around for weapons, ammo, and fishes for shields, which I've already mentioned. If you destroy slurp barrels, you actually gain health and shield. So that one is very, very cool. The supply drop has a brand new texture as well as the entire map. It almost looks like a Realm Royale game, to be honest. So interesting to me. I think that there is a whole bunch of updates that we might not have actually touched upon, but I do want to make sure that if you guys do have any questions, drop them in the comments down below. Let me know what you guys think is the best part of the update, the worst part of the update, what you guys think needs to be fixed. Of course, there are tons of bugs already in Chapter 2. One of the biggest ones that I noted that you guys can see in the beginning of the video was the fact that all of my controls in Battle Royale actually got reverted back to the default controls. So I'm not even talking Builder Pro. I'm talking literally Combat Pro. The default control scheme I'm not a big fan of. I actually have messed up my controls completely. So my left stick's jump, my right stick is actually edit / confirm / build, whatever it may be. So either way, I had to go through and do that. Fortnite did mention on their official Twitter account that this might be a setback coming into the chapter, but if you guys just revert it back and actually just rebind all your keybinds and controller binds and whatnot, that will fix it moving forward. There is also a bug that so far, again, the game has been out maybe 5 hours, 4 to 5 hours. There's a bug already that has you randomly die. From the looks of it, it looks like when you build a certain amount, you automatically die. Again, obviously that's not an intended mechanic in the game. So with that being said, I'm sure Fortnite's going to patch that. But I'm sure if you guys go over to, I saw Dr. Lupo, I saw Cypher PK, I also saw 2 or 3 other really popular Mixer streamers as well suffer from this too, that they uploaded on Twitter. So if you guys are missing out on that clip, go check that out. That I'm sure will be patched. But again, guys, give it a little bit. If the weapons aren't balanced, give it a little bit. Give Epic some slack, some leeway to fix all of this right here. But either way, guys, let me know what you guys think of the brand new chapter down in the comment section down below. If there's any more notes, I will leave them on my Twitter account at ZevHadar on Twitter. Link in the description below. I will see you guys later. Top box is at a previous video, which I don't know why you guys would want to watch because that's in the previous chapter. I'm kidding. Check it out if you guys want to. Bottom box is a mystery video like always. I'll see you guys later. Peace out. Have a great day.